remember Call of Duty Zombies? Yeah, by now everybody knows about COD and how they made a game on almost every platform, including even the Wii. But did you know there used to be 2 phone versions of it, on iOS and Android? One was the remake of the original World at War Zombies, and the other was a remake of the Black Ops 1 Zombies. And these 2 games were so unbelievably popular when they were released. The first game became one of Apple's best apps of 2009. And the predecessor was just as good, becoming the one everybody remembers. And recently, I had just been thinking about these iconic phone games I used to play all of those years ago. But let's get into the question of today. What happened to Call of Duty Zombies on mobile? And before we get into this question, if you have not played either of these games before, here's a quick explanation. Call of Duty World at War on mobile was a zombie shooting game, released 1 year after the popular World at War on console, and was a game where you would shoot zombies until you eventually got killed by the zombies, with buyable doors and perks that give you boosts. This was one of the most popular game modes, and still is even 10 plus years later, and with it being ported to iOS devices in 2009, it was an instant hit, and people who actually played this game loved it, and probably got a lot of nostalgia from it looking back now. But the Black Ops 1 port was the one everyone played, and even I played it a lot, and it was just amazing. So much nostalgia looking back. The game was exactly the same as Black Ops 1 Zombies, just with numbed down graphics to kind of cope with mobile devices at the time, and most people regard this as one of the best mobile games they have ever made. And I completely agree with them. And even the Black Ops 1 port having a lot of the maps that everybody loved on console, and stuff like saving your game, and even co-op with Bluetooth and, 4-player co-op, which is something, I used to play with my brother and randoms a lot. Stuff like the special bosses and enemies like George Romero was still in the game, which made it so much more fun to play. But what happens to these games? Well, this question will be kind of sad to tackle because it was quite cheap to buy the game, being only like $5, but obviously when it first came out it was $10. But it seems that developers wanted to put more work on their newest phone app, and thought, let's just scrap the other 2 games. They didn't even need to keep the servers up, they could have just left it up on the app stores, but no, they completely removed it both in 2018. And because of the fact that it probably wasn't making as much money anymore, but it's really sad to see, because the Black Ops 1 port was plagued with microtransactions, but for the most part it was still a banger of a game to play, and for them just to scrap the entire series like that is just crazy. But I have heard rumours about a potential remake of it on the newest COD that's come out on mobile. It's technically still playable, however. If you played it before and still have access to your account, you can still get it from your purchase history, but if you didn't, there is not really any possible way to get the game unless you want to try APKs of it, but hey, I'm not suggesting that, I wouldn't bother doing it, don't touch that. That stuff's weird. Anyway, yeah, and obviously it's going to probably give you a virus. And it's just not a good idea at all as well. Other ideas I suggest though, to give you this mobile-ish feel, would be COD Zombies on the browser. The links are on the screen right now, and it has a collection of old Zombies maps that are inspired from the old DS version of the game. And that would give you kind of a similar-ish feel to the mobile version, but just on computer. You could also try out Roblox, but it isn't really going to give you the graphics you'll want to get. But yeah, it's kind of sad, because there's not really any way that I know of to play this lost relic, really. Unless you obviously had it from the old Apple store. And yeah, if you still have this game, do comment down below because you're just insanely lucky. And I kind of really wish I still had my old iOS account because I had the game on there. But it's basically lost media at that point. Anyways, if you have found this video good, let me know by subscribing. And check out some of the other What Happened videos to see which games you used to play are doing now. See you guys next week.